I'm Tom and welcome to Alley Picked, where today's old toy video is a metal toy special. You know, back in the day when every metal toy was a deadly weapon. Speaking of deadly weapons, I happen to have here my very own set of jarts. And here's a set of Lesney, Matchbox, and Hot Wheels cars from the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. And now it's time to get off to the races. Okay, they're old. First up, let me show you a toy metal tractor. It has no plastic parts whatsoever, which is exactly why it's still functional today.
When I was young, toys were built to last. Look at this junk.
This one is probably from the late 1940s or early 50s. It was made by the Marx Company, which made toys from 1919 to 1979. Inside this tractor and all metal toys is a wind-up mechanism that looks like this. The winding key tightens a coil. As the coil loosens up, it turns gears, which turns the wheels and makes them go. I remember as a kid that I ruined my fair share of wind-up toys just so I could take them apart and see what made them tick. Here's a wind-up monkey and a duck riding a bicycle. Not only do their legs move, but the three props on their beanies spin around. I love watching old television toy commercials, but one that you're probably not going to see is a wind-up metal toy commercial. The first television toy commercial aired in 1952. Guess what it was for? It's for a toy that is still made today. Mr. Potato Head. And here's a sample.
Hey, it's Hasbro. Hasbro makes toys. What's new, Hasbro?
Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head with their own cars and trailers. That's what's new. See, Mr. Potato Head has a car and boat trailer. And there's a car and shopping trailer for his wife, Mrs. Potato Head. It's such fun to do and so easy.
Now that commercial, the writing is bad, the audio is bad, the acting is bad. But back then, people had never seen a toy television commercial before, so this one probably seemed pretty good. As bad as it was, Hasbro, the company that made Mr. Potato Head, sold over 1 million of these sets after the commercial aired.
What else is new, Hasbro?
Now here's a great little merry-go-round. Instead of having a key that you turn to wind it up, it has a lever that you slide. Now that's pretty cool, and it still works amazingly. However, it is missing a few parts. 2 of the airplanes are gone, and there were little flags up here. Those are missing as well. Have no fear, I made some replacements. Now that's much better. Now let's take a closer look at these Matchbox cars from the 1950s, 60s, and possibly 70s. I've got about 50 cars here. You may have had some of these as a child. Matchbox cars were first introduced in 1953. A British company called Lesney Products was in the business of manufacturing die-cast industrial parts. Somebody at the company had a genius idea to make a small toy car the size of a matchbox. Each year, new models were added, some being replaced until there were 75 in the range. The range was kept to 75 models at any given time. Here's a few of the early cars from the 1950s, still in the original box. And if you notice, these cars are smaller than Matchbox cars made today. The Lesney company later sold its Matchbox division to Universal Toys, then it went to Tyco, then to Mattel. This car here is a Hot Wheels Redline. They stopped printing the Redline on wheels in 1977. They are sought after and are fairly valuable. This car carrying case is from 1966 and it holds 48 cars. Here's a metal toy that I think is more dangerous than jarts. It's a real small iron marketed for children. It gets hot and it has a very unsafe electrical plug. This is a metal cap missile. You turned open the head and inserted a single cap from a roll that looked like this. These are the same rolls that would be put inside of a cap gun. Close the head, throw the missile, and it lands on the sidewalk, and you'd hear a bang as the cap exploded. I'll bet there were a lot of cars dented by these over the years.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah, well...
Would you look at that?
Yeah, there's a few more blemishes on the car.
Oh my gosh, just look at it.
The car is not perfect.
Just look at it.
This is a toy metal bank I had as a child. It says Fort Knox on it, but any kid can crack this thing open in about 10 seconds. It was pretty useless, especially if you had older brothers. Here's another bank I used to have. This is a pirate bank. I think these may have come with a lock similar to this one. This bank was definitely more secure than the Fort Knox bank. Back in the day, it didn't take much to amuse us, like this metal clicker. Simply push the metal back plate and it made this clicking noise. This toy is a spinning top. It uses a twisted metal rod on a handle, and when you press it down, it forces the top to spin. Here's a toolkit for children. They'd never sell these today because of lawsuits. But if you want your children to understand how to build things and use tools, it is important to let them use real tools when they're able to. Plastic drills and saws don't teach kids anything. Fun metal toys from the past. The sounds, the colors, the artwork. Reminders from a much simpler time that evoke great childhood memories and experiences. I'm Tom. This is Allie Picked, and thanks for watching.